Hi everyone, this is Herd85. Welcome to episode number 12 on my WCW series, a done deal. For those that are new, welcome. If not, if you're returning fans, also welcome. Hope you guys have enjoyed so far. We are now up to April 2002. A little bit of a recap on the last show to finish off the World Title main event. Booker T retained, but then the new stable, which is a throwback to an old stable, the New Blood, led this time by Eric Bischoff, and also had Mike Awesome, Sean O'Haire, Steve Corino, Chris Kanyon and Buff Bagwell. They attacked Booker T and Hollywood Hogan, leading to the end of episode 11. So we are now in Nitro, which has already been booked as normal. So Jerry Lynn and Terry Funk defeat the Young Dragons and the Enforcers in a pre-show match. A little bit of a tester here because I wanted to see how well Lynn and Funk worked as a tag team, because they are legends, of course. Believe it or not, Ric Flair in the pre-show defeats Christopher Daniels. To be honest, I didn't really have storyline related match for Flair, but he will be used, of course he will. He's my US champ, one of my most over guys. So watch this space. Booker T and Hulk Hogan are in the ring. Eric Bischoff comes out. He challenges them to a tag team match tonight on behalf of two of his New Blood members, Sean O'Haire and Mike Awesome. The challenge is accepted. While their backs are turned, Booker T and Hulk Hogan don't notice O'Haire and Awesome hitting the ring and blindside Booker T and Hogan, and they're left down and out. So straight off the bat, a 99. Sean O'Haire is now main event status after his feud and TV title run. Triple threat cruiserweight match. AJ Styles defeats Chase Stevens and Chavo Guerrero with the Styles Clash first cruiserweight title defense. Good 68 start to kick off the show. Backstage, Samoa Joe is talking to Dustin Rhodes. He informs Dustin that Dusty is apparently waiting to confront them both in a parking lot. Pumped up by the thought of the confrontation between Dustin and Dusty, he heads out the room, leaving Joe with a wild smile. So Joe's clearly setting some sort of a trap here for Dustin Rhodes, but find out later. It's got an 80. CM Punk defeats Disco Inferno with the Anaconda Vice. I always get surprised when matches go above, say, 60 when it involves certain talent. So 71. I'm quite happy about this one. Kidman and Mysterio defeat Juventud and Psychosis, and this got an 80. So I think I'm going to add them as a tag team now. Billy Kidman and Mysterio already a tag team. They obviously used to be the Filthy Animals. So I'm thinking about maybe giving Juventud and Psychosis a bit of a tag combo for now. Considering this got an 80, shows you how good all four of these are together. Nigel McGuinness, after losing the US title match and turn on Savage, back in action, defeats Tanaka. It's got 59. Following the match, Randy Savage slides in and jumps McGuinness. He manages to get a few right hands before McGuinness rolls out the ring and escapes through the crowd. It's got 96. So this is also just to confirm that Savage is now a face. But continues a feud which also involved Ric Flair. Lance Storm getting an easy win over Super Crazy. Got 60. Dustin Rhodes in the car park looking for Dusty, but instead gets ambushed by Samoa Joe, Chris Kanyon, Buff Bagwell, Steve Corino and Eric Bischoff. Samoa Joe gets a final blow with a crowbar before standing over his fallen friend. So in case you didn't notice, this is the New Blood pretty much recruiting Samoa Joe. It's got an 84. Chris Conan defeats Shane Douglas. It's got an 81, so Conan continues a little bit of a good run I've decided to give him. 6-man tag. Steiner Warriors. Road Warrior Animal, Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner defeat Planet Jarrett, which is James Storm, Chris Harris and Jeff Jarrett. And Scott Steiner defeat James Storm with the Steiner Screwdriver. 78. Sting comes to the ring to cut promo. The lights go out. Vampiro's music appears and he appears on the big screen. He says the war is far from over. In fact, it's only just begun. So the last chapter of my story. Vampiro was defeated by Sting in a casket match. It's got an 87. The main event. Mike Awesome and Sean O'Haire of the New Blood defeat Booker T, who is the world champ, and Hulk Hogan. When Awesome pinned Hogan following the Awesome Bomb following interference from Monty Brown. And we also had Jeff Jarrett jump Booker T, 84. Booker T and Hogan are still being attacked by Awesome, Sean O'Haire, Jeff Jarrett and Monty Brown. Seeing the assault, DDP and Raph come running in and make the save. And this got a 93. Overall, 88 for my first Nitro of April. The first seeds are being planted for the New Blood's new feud. Yeah, so pretty happy with that one, to be honest. Good start. You'll notice O'Haire getting a mighty push. Jarrett and Brown also getting their push. Oh, we've got loads of news. Oh, man. Hulk Hogan is causing rifts in the locker room. Oh my god. I've got 41 news and about 30 of them is between Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Lots of people now have similar intention with Randy Savage. Thank you for that, Hulk. Hulk Hogan. Goody. WWE have made some offers for a load of people I've made offers for. So we're also going to have to deal with that soon. Let's have a look at the news. Nigel wants a pay rise. I think he's probably earned it. Devon's turned heel. Raven's turned heel. Nitro up there obviously was better than Raw. Raw got an 87. Edge and Christian over the Brothers of Destruction. And we got an 88. New Japan got an 83. Bidding war for Mike Awesome. Yeah, WWE have come in for him. Or WWF. Bidding war for Hector Garza. He is at AAA. So, Mexican war there. So, there isn't too much else to check. Alright, let's crack on. Alright, let's move on to Tuesday. Alright, smack if down, logo smack down. Annoyingly, I keep getting emails with WWE bidding for Mike Awesome. To be honest, I might lose him here. So I might have to make... It's frustrating because you keep throwing money at talent. It's what WWE used to do in the old day. Anyway, 84 for SmackDown, Brothers of Destruction defeat Edge and Christian in Japan. I got an 84. He got a 57. Bullet Bob. Eric Watts there. Not really too much to write home about. Alright, what we got here? Oh, I've got a lot of TV deals coming up as well, so not only do I have contracts expiring, I've also got TV contracts expiring. Let's see if I can show you. There you go, look, plenty of TV deals coming to an end, so I'll go through them before I book Thunder. WCW versus the World. Paul London standing out. Mike Sanders defeated Chris Hero in the main event. Oh well. Tanahashi. Okay, look how young he is. Mick Carter in Japan. Haku stays with WWF. Natalia has left my developmental because she was on a 6-month deal. Yeah, so that's all. I'm just going to tidy up some contracts. Up next will be Thunder. Okay, Thunder is up and running. It's all booked. Annoyingly, Hogan and Savage backstage are disrupting my roster a little bit, but it's all good. It's probably the risk of bringing in Hulk Hogan. Amazing Red defeats the Parker, Cesaro and Brian Knobbs with the code Red 56 pre-show match. Random 8-man tag. Alex Wright, Tanaka, Hugh Morris, Jerry Lynn, 10-man tag, sorry, and Terry Funk defeat Disco, AMW and the Enforcers. Candido was beaten by Jerry Lynn. I've been trying to turn Disco face. Obviously it's not going to plan so far. Main show. Hulk Hogan, Hollywood, Booker T, DDP and Raph inform us that have formed an alliance. I can confirm this alliance is the Old Guard of WCW. So look out for any sort of veterans on my roster that are classed as WCW veterans, not just veterans in general, to potentially join this group. So Raph here getting a bit of a push because Brian Clark was with WCW for quite a while. That's got a 100. Random tag. The Naturals defeat Wyndham and Finlay. Andy Douglas gets the win. I got 53, but that's because the Naturals aren't quite over yet. Bit of a random one here. AJ Styles and CM Punk cut a tag promo before a match. They're both faces at the moment, but as you can see, maybe something's happening. 83. So in a tag match, AJ and Punk beat Juventud and Psychosis. AJ got the win with the Styles Clash. 58. In an interview, taped interview, will say Furious Dustin Rhodes swears revenge on Samoa Joe. That's got 77. And what we'll do is pre-book that one for Nitro. It's going to be on Nitro. Dustin Rhodes against his former protege, Samoa Joe. Just seeing what my next pay-per-view is Spring Stampede, which is a little bit away yet. Cruiserweight action. Billy Kidman defeats Kid Cash, 75. Eric Bischoff is in the ring with Shawn O'Haire, Mike Awesome, Buff Bagwell, and Chris Kanyon. They officially introduced Joe, Jeff Jarrett, and Monty Brown as new members of the New Blood. So the storyline's picking up. Obviously, it's limited to 8 per angle, so I couldn't add Carino in there, as he's in the other one. Oh, there he is. Speaking of him, Carino, Bagwell, and Kanyon decide to attack the Steiner Warriors backstage, but only ended up getting beaten up themselves. 85, and we're also going to pre-book this match onto Nitro. So it'll be Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, and a Road Warrior Animal against Buff Bagwell, Steve Carino, and Chris Kanyon. 6-man tag. The Steiner Warriors against 3 members of the New Blood. 85. Bit of an upset here. Rey Mysterio defeats Shane Douglas with a fast roll-up. That's got a 79. Hollywood, Booker, Raph, and DDP come to the ring. They lay out an open challenge for tonight. Eric Bischoff comes out and accepts the challenge. So they want any 4 members of the New Blood. 99. Lance Storm defeats Crowbar. That's got 66. So Lance Storm is sort of just plodding along at the moment. Conan defeats Johnny B. Bad with his zip block submission. It's got 78. Again, Sting is in the ring. Lights go out. Vampiro's music plays and a symbol appears, promising revenge. Sting. It says Sting looks on in fear, but I doubt Sting would be scared. US title defense. Who'd have thought Hayes would have come all this way? Ric Flair defeats Hayes by DQ when Nigel McGuinness runs in and attacks Ric Flair. 78. Flair is being beaten down by McGuinness till Randy Savage comes to make the save with a steel chair, but as he goes to attack McGuinness, he moves out the way and accidentally hits Ric Flair, leaving McGuinness to leave while Savage tries to help the Nature Boy. 91. Main event. The Old Guard, Hollywood, Booker, DDP and Raph defeat some of the members of the New Blood, Jeff Jarrett, Monty Brown, Samoa Joe and Chris Kanyon. DDP picked up the win, hitting the Diamond Cutter on Kanyon. 78. So an 85 for Thunder. A little bit of a teaser for the feud between the Old Guard of WCW and the New Blood. You know, you could debate some people of the New Blood could potentially be in the Old Guard. Jeez, WWE really want Mike Awesome. I keep bidding for him. Brian Clark, find. Chris Kanyon, fine. So overall 85 for Thunder. Gonna move to staying with All Japan. That's my developmental. Nothing really major happens. Jamie Noble the star. Adam Rose there. WWF re-signed Spike Dudley. I did have a bit of a bidding war, to be honest, with Spike Dudley, but he was sort of overpriced for my liking. Oh, Johnny B. Bad's going soon. Let's have a quick quick look at the news. Stone Cold staying with WWF. To be honest, he didn't even want to talk to me, so I didn't have a chance. Jason Liger there. He's someone I'd like to bring back, but he's a freelancer. Bryan Danielson, a star. Mike Sanders keeps main eventing at the moment. New team, Mike Sydal and Colt Cabana. Okay. It's not a bad team, is it? Mike Sydal and Colt. Bit of a mix in styles. Right, I can now confirm 6, aka X-Pac, signed with me. Brian Clark is staying, Brian Adams is staying. Bit of a random one this one, but I've picked up Mike Rotunda, aka IRS. To be honest, I wanted to bring back the old school tag team of Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. Windham's sort of just floating around my roster, to be honest, because I don't really have a lot for him. For those that don't know who Rotundo is, he is IRS, or Bray Wyatt's dad, Bo Dallas's dad. Chad Collar smashing it in my development. Tempted to bring him up, to be honest. Jamie Noble, Mikey Rip. That might be a nice storyline. Let's have a look. How good's Chad Collar? Yeah, he kind of looks like a young Carlito. Let's have a look, see of him properly. I've given him a call up to the main roster. Old Chaddus. He's got good submission skills, so that could be tempting. I've got a random tag I'm potentially considering. Divorce there. Okay, Brian Christopher staying with WWF. Well, that's not big. Oh, I like this one. I'll make him a face. Mark Henry wins the world title in OVW off Eugene. Psycho Circus. So that same show had Orton over Brock Lesnar. Wow. What a show, I guess. Mark Henry Eugene was the match that main evented over Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton. Come a long way. Right, up next, guys, is Nitro. Got a couple of matches booked. Hopefully it'll be a good show. Right. My voice might sound a bit different because I've got a cold since I last was booking. Anyway, the show must go on. Pre-show, Conan defeats Cesaro. That got 69, not bad. 5-way match. Cruiserweight action. Disco. Kaz Hayashi, Psychosis, Rey Mysterio, Andy Douglas, and Jimmy Yang. Mysterio picking up the victory. 65. Main show. Randy Savage comes out, takes a mic, and he's interrupted by Nigel McGuinness. They have a big argument, go back and forth, and agree to face off 1-on-1 in a singles match tonight. 93. Hayes back on winning ways, defeats Parker over the Northern Light suplex. 59. Cruiserweight title defense. AJ Styles defeats Kid Cash and Crowbar. It's got a 65. So obviously AJ's just being called back up, so on a winning roll. Samoa Joe takes on his former mentor, defeats Dustin Rhodes with the Muscle Buster, and they also retain the Hardcore title. 71. Following the match, Dustin Rhodes is beaten down by members of the New Blood, Jeff Jarrett, Joe Carino, Monty Brown and Chris Kanyon. It's got an 88. Shane Douglas defeats Chad Collar in his debut from the main roster. It's got 59. Tag team action. Jerry Lynn and Hugh Morris defeat AMW. Yeah, 69 is not too bad. Jerry Lynn carried the match. Good lad. DDP and Sean O'Hare are having a bit of back and forth soon. Other members of the Old Guard and the New Blood join. Booker T, Mike Awesome, Buff, Raph, Hogan and Monty Brown. It's got a 92. Then following from that, the Steiner Warriors defeat the New Blood, Bagwell, Carino and Kenyon. Scotty Steiner locking in the Steiner recliner. It's got an 84. Following the match, New Blood weren't happy and beat down the Steiner Warriors. That's Carino, Kenyon, Brown, Jarrett and Bagwell. Beat down the Steiner Warriors. 98. So grudge match. Nigel McGuinness defeats Randy Savage following a distraction from Christopher Daniels. Daniels was a former member of the new Team Madness with Savage and McGuinness. Savage is being beaten down by Magnus, former Team Madness, that is. Daniels. Ric Flair comes to make the save. He fights them both off. Savage recovers, but makes the mistake of coming in from behind Ric Flair and accidentally floors him. So we've had Flair accidentally knock out Savage, and now Savage accidentally knocking out Flair. But what I'm going to do is pre-book a tag match for Thunder. McGuinness and Daniels will take on Randy Savage and Ric Flair. Main event. Sean O'Hare defeats Sting in an exceptional match with the Widowmaker. During the match, Vampiro attacked Sting. It's got an 85. Very happy with this because Sean O'Hare is now my main eventer. And that is the end of Nitro. So Sean O'Hare picking up a huge singles victory. A little bit of controversy with Vampiro getting involved. The mind games continue between Vamps and Sting. No, Raw beat me. Raw got a 91. Wow. Triple H and Jericho went to a no contest. 99 rated match that was. Hugh Morris once more. Better booking. You know, I let her win a match. That's got to be good, right? Right. Let's have a look. See. As always. Says Scotty Anton. That is Scotty Riggs from the WCW days. Brian Danielson looking good in my development. So in case that you guys were wondering, Sean O'Hare's overness, well, Sting's overness is 82. You know, all over. Sean O'Hare is pretty much high 80s. Well, high 70s, low 80s. So he's got like 79, then 80, 82, 84. So on Thunder, New Blood were dominant on Nitro. So will the Old Guard get some revenge? Maybe. Maybe they will. Banks close on ISW. SmackDown got at 89. Big Show lost to The Undertaker. Tanaka leaves WCW. Yeah, his contract expired and he didn't want to stay on. Oh, we got another contract ending. CW Anderson. I think CW's been doing okay. I think he's worth keeping around. I'll give him another 1-year deal. He's doing okay in the tag team combination. I've got him with Chris Candido. They are the Enforcers, the new modern day Enforcers. WCW versus the World. Bryan Danielson stars. Sanders defeats Shane Helms in the main event. Stasiak and Jindrak retain the tag titles over the Massive Machine Guns. So they've got quite good developmental people. Eventually we'll break into the main roster. Right, here we go. Thunder. The only pre-booked match is Flair and Savage teaming up to take on Christopher Daniels and Nigel McGuinness. Okay, Thunder is booked. Hopefully it continues to build towards the pay-per-view. So random 4-tag match. Disco, Johnny B. Bad, Smiley, Crowbar, Naturals and AMW, with the Naturals picking up the win, 53. 15-man battle royal just to get some of the mid-carders on the show. Looks like Brian Knobbs won, a bit random because I just left the winner blank, to be honest. 60. Main show. The Old Guard introduced Sting and Dustin Rhodes as members of the Old Guard. As you may or may not remember, they both got jumped by New Blood last show on Nitro, so they're joining the Old Guard. 98. Fatal 4-way. Jerry Lynn defeats Chavo, Chad and Psychosis. It's got a 70. Tag title defense. The Steiner Warriors retain against the Enforcers. They haven't had a tag title defense in a while, so sort of threw this one on the card. 71's not too bad though. Flair and Savage agreed to put their differences aside to take down Daniels and McGuinness. 89. Conan wins again with a zip block. 57. Lance Storm bumps into Booker T. They have a bit of an argument and it's agreed. Booker T versus Lance Storm tonight. Storm's obviously frustrated with his opportunities, so giving him a shot. 6-man tag. New Blood members Joe, Carino and Kanyon defeat CM Punk, Kidman and Mysterio. Kanyon picking up the win with a flatliner. 78. DDP and Sting won a tag match with Vampiro and Sean O'Haire tonight. Dusty Rhodes accepts. 79. In a tag match, Ric Flair and Randy Savage defeat Daniels and McGuinness, but it was due to a disqualification. It's got an 84. And what I'm going to do is, I was tempted to make it a rematch. Anyway, Lance Storm is beaten again by Booker T. Not as good as any of their past matches, so they got 77. But following the match, Bischoff leads some of the New Blood members, Mike Awesome, Monty Brown and Jeff Jarrett, to the ring. They take turns in beating down Booker. Wrath charges to the ring and tries in vain to make the save, but his efforts are cut short when Lance Storm nails Wrath with a low blow. The New Blood embrace Lance Storm. He has appeared to have joined the group. 98, so Lance Storm is now part of the New Blood. Main event, Sean O'Haire and Vampiro continue to win, following a distraction from Eric Bischoff. It's got 79. Following the match, Sting and Vamp seem to have gone O'Hare's leading the charge with Jarrett, Monty Brown and Buff taking out DDP, but the Steiner Warriors hit the ring, making a save, triggers an 8-man brawl that's got a 97. This also will be a pre-booked 8-man tag for next week. Now I've got to try and remember who was in it. Rick Steiner, the Steiner Warriors, Jeff Jarrett, Monty Brown, Sean O'Hare, Mike Awesome. No, I lied. Sean O'Hare, Jeff Jarrett, Monty Brown and Buff Bagwell. For some reason I thought Mike Awesome over Buff Bagwell. Sorry, Buff. Let's try that again. Jeff Jarrett, Monty Brown, Buff Bagwell and Sean O'Hare are going to take on Diamond Dallas Page, Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner and the Road Warrior Animal next week on Nitro. Big man event. 86 for Thunder. We'll take that. I would say that's a good result. A couple of people failed a steroid test. I always find them. One, they either react really nicely or moan, basically. Jamie Noble retains the world title in the main event. James Storm hurt his foot, but it should be okay. So 2 weeks away from a pay-per-view and I haven't booked any matches yet. That's Johnny B. Bad gone from WCW. Russell Ward, Daniel Bryan. Oh, it's confirmed. Mike Awesome signs a 4-year deal. So Mike Awesome is staying with WCW. So that took 2 weeks of contract negotiations, that one. Terry Funk's contract's ending, but to be honest, I'm probably going to let him go. C.W. Anderson signs his contract. So still waiting. Am I still waiting on anyone? I think, did I sign Sean Waltman? Yeah, Sean X-Pac did sign. Did he? Am I just having a brain fart? Yeah, he did sign. He's already waiting for a contract to begin with you. Duh. Chris Sabin defeats Finn Balor for the X Division title. There's a pay-per-view. So Finn now got a 50. Mark Jidrak stays out to defeat Danielson in London in the main event. There's the other B show. Developmental. BG James down there. Mainly because I've got nothing for him on the main roster at the moment. With this New Blood Old Guard storyline. A lot of Japanese stuff. Oh, that's quite cool. So Kurt Hennig returns to WCW. It's been out a while. Let's give him a medical. Could be out again in a sec. that's cool. Gave Sean Waltman a medical. Just did a drug test for Kurt Hennig, and he. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's one I can handle. Just a minor offence. Just a minor. Right, off we go for Nitro. Okay, another Nitro is booked. 8-man main event leading up to Spring Stampede. So Hugh Morris picks up a win over Wright, LaParca, Cash and Disco. He just needed a bit of momentum. 56. The returning Kurt Hennig just wrestling off some ring rust. In a tag match with Barry Windham, they defeat the Young Dragons. 67. Main show, the New Blood. Basically, they're hanging out and they're declaring tonight they're going to set out some challenges. 83. The Naturals defeat the tag combo of Juventud and Psychosis. 59. Conan defeats Brian Knobbs. Also got 59. Eric Bischoff is with Jeff Jarrett and Monty Brown. They ask Vampiro to officially join the group. He says he will answer later, but it won't be on this show, so he's just teasing really. 81. Hardcore title defense. Joe retains over Chad, Punk and Hayes. 73. So Joe's slowly building up the card. The Old Guard is hanging out backstage, and they kind of notice that Dustin Rhodes is still a bit loopy in the head. He was obsessed with the world title before and got betrayed recently by Samoa Joe. 84. Oh, lovely. Anyway, Kidman and Mysterio defeat the Enforcers. Rey Mysterio pinning Chris Candido. 78. Mysterio and Kidman are consistently getting good ratings in the mid card. Wrath and Booker T call out Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. They won a tag match, and this will actually take place at Spring Stampede against Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. This is probably the first time on pay-per-view I won't have my world champ defending his title. Another freestyle segment. Dusty Rhodes and Eric Bischoff technically put their differences aside, even though Bischoff is in the New Blood. They book a Fatal 4-Way US title match for Spring Stampede. Ric Flair versus Randy Savage versus Nigel McGuinness versus Christopher Daniels. So a big chance there for Daniels in a big match at Spring Stampede. Upset. AJ Styles defeats Shane Douglas. Yes, this is an upset because Shane Douglas is still upper mid-carder, and he's quite high upper mid-carder. And AJ Styles is still only just on the mid-card regions really. 74. Big one here, Monty Brown challenges Hulk Hogan to a one-on-one at Spring Stampede. Monty Brown, one member of the New Blood. So he's stepping up to take on Hulk Hogan. Hollywood. 100. Test the tag match for Booker T and Wrath. They defeat Daniels and McGuinness with the meltdown. It's got 79. DDP with the Steiner Warriors. He officially proclaims they are part of the Old Guard. So the Steiner Warriors are helping out the Old Guard against the New Blood. Main event, 8-man. New Blood versus Old Guard. DDP and the Steiner Warriors defeat Jarrett, Brown, Bagwell and Sean O'Haire. DDP hitting his diamond cutter on Bagwell, picking up the 1-2-3. It's got an 87. Final match though, Sean O'Haire floors DDP with the TV title. So for those that have forgotten, Sean O'Hare, still after his TV title rematch, and this one is actually going to be booked on Thunder. So we're going to have a TV title main event on Thunder between Sean O'Hare and DDP. This got a 90. Great show. 90 that is. Boom. Can't say I am disappointed with that at all. Lots of big segments, lots of big ratings. Main event scored high, and we've got a few matches now at Spring Stampede building up. So we got a 90, Raw got an 80. They had Eddie, Billy and Rikishi defeat Rhino and TNA. That'll be why you got an 80, mate. Tanaka joins All Japan. SmackDown got an 87. Brothers Destruction defeat Edge and Christian. Okay. WWE keeps saying they're going to sign new people. New Japan picked up a couple of good ones there. Right, here we go. What have we got here? New Japan. Noah, in case you guys want to know, got an 83. WCW vs. the World, got 53. Mike Sanders over Chris Hero. Sanders is the world champ, he seems to be dominating at the moment. Maybe because everyone else is SOL. Anyway, Thunder's coming up. Main event, Sean O'Hare versus Diamond Dallas Stage for the TV title. Okay, show is ready. Here we go. It's a bit of a random tag. Chavo and Disco defeat Smiley and Chad. They've got 61. 10-man tag. Amazing Red, Crowbar, La Parka, Super Crazy and Jimmy Yang defeat Nob, Cesaro, Juventud Psychosis and Kikash. Jimmy Yang picks up the win. So Cesaro obviously still quite young on the game, as it is only 2002. So it's going to take a while to build up. So freestyle segment. Jeff Jarrett and Money Brown asked for AMW to join the New Blood as they're part of Planet Jarrett. AB books them in a Prove Yourself match. Just got an 80. Hugh Morris picks up a win. Defeats Finlay. 57. Hardcore match. Samoa Joe retains over Terry Funk after Dustin Rhodes tries to get involved, accidentally hit Funk. So Joe retains, 69. What I'm going to do is pre-book a Spring Stampede one-on-one match. Joe versus Dustin Rhodes. Some of the members of the New Blood asked Kurt Hangen and Barry Windham to join. They said they're not interested, they don't want to get involved, and they walk off. 83. Pretty much a squash tag match here. Lance Storm and Mike Awesome, formerly of Team Canada, now of the New Blood, defeat the Naturals with the Awesome Bomb. 60 is okay, I guess. Steiner Warriors are backstage and they ask for well, they're going to put up their tag titles because they want Carino and Chris Kanyon. So a big title defense, or tag title defense for the Spring Stampede. Two members of the New Bloods, Steve Carino and Chris Kanyon, get shot at the Steiner Warriors. Scott Steiner crushing Chris Candido. 78. Windham and Henning are backstage.
And they get ambushed by the New Blood. Bischoff's leading the charge with Awesome, Lance Storm, Buff Bagwell, Carino, and Chris Kanyon. They leave him down and out. So after rejecting to join the New Blood, Barry Windham and Kurt Hennig get beaten down. 90. Fatal 4-way.
So yeah, Fatal 4-way. Rey Mysterio defeats Daniels, Lynn and Hayes. This got an 80. The New Blood again try and recruit Vampiro. This only got a 79 though. Conan defeats Buff Bagwell by submission after blatant cheating apparently. Carino and Kanyon attacked Conan, but Sting and Hogan make the save. Two members of the Old Guard. Following the match, they have a bit of a post-match promo, basically saying that there's going to be a 6-man tag on Nitro. We'll have Hogan, Sting and Conan against Buff, Carino, and positively Chris Kanyon. The Prove Yourself match didn't quite go to plan. Booker T and Raph defeat AMW. Following the match, a bit of the New Blood try and beat him down, but this time Hogan leads Dustin Rhodes out, because Dustin is obviously part of the Old Guard, so kind of need to use him occasionally. So only got 79. Main event, Sean O'Haire defeats Diamond Dallas Page to regain his television title, 82. Following the match, the New Blood have a celebration, 100. Only 84 for Thunder, but it wasn't too bad. It's all about putting people over. That was Brian Lobbs' last showing for us. Oh, great. Ryan Clark had an incident. So did Vampiro. Jamie Noble, stars for my developmental. Tyson Dukes wins the Cruiserweight title in my developmental. See if there's anything interesting. Bryan Danielson's always a star. Stasiak defeats Shane Helms in the main event. Nothing else on to note. Hey, I got another legend. Mike Rotunda has joined my roster. You know, he's just old school, isn't he? Old school. Mike Rotunda. We're gonna have him teaming up again with Barry Windham probably. Right, let's have a look, see from the bottom up. David Flair. I guess he's slowly improving. Bobby Roode, the star this week. Alright, WWE Backlash got a 93. Triple H defended against Chris Jericho, got a 99. The APA begin their third reign as WWF Tag Team Champs, defeating the Hollies. Hey, I had a pay-per-view for my developmental. BG James and Mikey Whipwreck defeated Kendo Windham and Palumbo. Interesting main event, I guess. Alright, so up next will be the final Nitro of the month. Okay, so Nitro is up and running. Hopefully, it's a good build towards pay-per-view. Right, we've got here Dustin Rose, Alex Wright, Hugh Morris, Jerry Lynn, some of the old school boys. Defeat Chavo, Cesaro, Crowbar, and Lepaka. Darkness Falls, Dustin Rose got the win. Apparently, Alex Wright and Hugh Morris gimmicks getting stale. Random tag, cut of New Blood members, Vampiro and Joe, just to get him used. Beat Chad Collar and Super Crazy, 65. Freestyle segment, some of the New Blood members welcome James Storm and Chris Harris to the gang, AMW, so that means that Planet Jarrett, the whole lot of them are officially in. So it's a good way to try and get these guys over, 85. Debut, Mike Rotundo defeats Norman Smiley with a flying lariat, 49, old school gimmick. So just, you know, a bit of experience on the roster. No harm in that. 4-person tag. Daniels and McGuinness, even though they're part of the Fatal 4-Way, team up to defeat the Naturals, Hooven into Psychosis, the Andy Enforcers. 72. Nigel McGuinness has come a long way with a performance of 83. Some of the Old Guard welcome Barry Windham and Kurt Hennig to the stable. That's 92. So Hogan, Sting, and Booker T there. Steiner Warriors beat Hayes, Disco Inferno, and Finley. Road Warrior Animal getting the win, 76. 4-way brawl breaks up between McGuinness, Savage, Daniels, and Flair, 86. Just a little hype for the pay-per-view, a little bit of brawling. CM Punk, he defeats Shane Douglas, so Shane Douglas is now dropping back down again, 77. Triple threat cruiserweight match, AJ Styles defeats Rey Mysterio and Kid Cash. AJ retains his title. Showed some future heel turn here, 77. Sean O'Haire bringing back his open challenge for the TV title. Who will step up? And it is answered by Raph. However, Sean O'Haire is too much for him. And Sean O'Haire retains the television title, 76. Final match, Sean O'Haire is in the ring and all of a sudden he is hit from behind by DDP. DDP pulls O'Haire back and bang! A diamond cutter which knocks him out. 99. What a segment. 6-person tag. The Old Guard, Hogan, Sting, and Conan defeat New Blood members Bagwell, Carino, and Chris Kanyon. Sting picking up the win. Only 74, but you know, I had to give the Old Guard some wins. Following the match, Monty Brown charges out, gets into Hogan's face with a vicious forearm, picks up a groggy Hogan, clamps on a brutal bear hug, and slams him through the set wall. As the camera fades, it centers around the closed frame of Hogan's face, blood pouring out his mouth. This is obviously a preset angle. It's not perfect, but it got a 99, so I can't complain about that. Overall, Nitro gets a 84. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. We've obviously got more. We've all got an 84 as well. Billy, Eddie, and Rikishi defeat Matt, Hardy, Edge, and Christian. I swear, sometimes WWE's booking is just a bit mental. I thought my booking was mental. Sometimes mine's just a bit all over the place at the moment, trying to do the storyline. To be honest, I'm now looking at heel turning Alex Wright. And I'm not really sure what to do with Humorous. Smacketh down. 85 SmackDown. The Undertaker defeats Edge, William Regal, and Bubba Ray Dudley. Okay. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to hear William Regal, Robin Hood, and Edge in the main event. Bubba Ray Dudley's a bit random, but back then, obviously I like the Bully Ray gimmick. Right, coming up to Thursday. Let's have a quick stroll. Oh, who's that Iron Sheik? Oh, the Iron Sheik passed away on the game at the age of 59. Doesn't say if it was anything bad, just that he passed away. Oh. On the same day as Jidrak and Stacey defeat Daniel Bryan and Paul London in the main event there. So that's big news for this one, the Iron Sheik. Right, let's sort out Thunder. Okay, the last Thunder before the pay-per-view is ready to rumble. So, random 4-way tag match. AMW pick up the win over the Naturals, the Young Dragons, and Wyndham and Rotundo teaming up for the first time in a long time. Only got 57. So Hulk Hogan defeats Finlay with a big leg drop. And apparently they have pretty good chemistry. It's only one. Hogan's in the pre-show. It's going to make sense for storyline purposes. And here's the storyline purpose. Booker T's in the ring. He reports Hogan is banged up and isn't here tonight. WCW OG wants some revenge, so we challenge the New Blood to a 5-on-5 main event. Bischoff comes out and accepts. 99. Lance Storm defeats Terry Funk with the Canadian Maple Leaf. 56. Bischoff announces the New Blood team will be Bagwell, Brown, Jarrett, Awesome, and O'Hare. 97. Alex Wright gets defeated by Hayes, and they have pretty great chemistry. 74. Random 6-man, Team TNA there. AJ Styles, Amazing Red, Jerry Lynn defeat Kid Cash, Psychosis, and Juventud. AJ is on fire at the moment. 69. I didn't mean to put Bobby Heenan. I actually meant to put Booker T. But hey, he's still got 83. Anyway, I didn't even mean to put AJ Styles. I went rogue on this one. This was supposed to be the announcement for the Old Guard's team. But anyway, it's definitely Henning, Booker T, DDP, Raph, and instead of AJ, should have been Sting. AJ crept in there. I must have hit the button by accident. 83 though, still good, still good. Random tag. Hugh Morris and Conan defeat Shane Douglas and Cesaro. So basically, Shane Douglas is on a downward spiral now. You know, I tried him out in the early days when he took on Kev Nash, but we've got loads more people over now. Triple threat: CM Punk defeats Candido and Rey Mysterio with the Anaconda Vaz, 79. Good, very good rating. Dustin Rhodes from the Old Guard defeats Steve Corino. Darkness Falls, 77. Following the match, Samoa Joe gets a hold of Bagwell, Corino and Kanyon to take out Dustin Rhodes, but the Steiner Warriors make the save. This triggers an 8-man brawl. Both teams have to be separated by a whole field of officials and other wrestlers, 90. Ric Flair is given an interview. McGuinness and Daniels come out, enter the ring. After some back and forth, they attack Flair, but the Macho Man Randy Savage comes out and hits the ring clean house, saves the Nature Boy, 90. And the main event. This one went 20 minutes. It's quite long for WCW. The New Blood, Buff Bagwell, Mike Awesome, Sean O'Haire, Monty Brown and Jeff Jarrett defeated Booker T, Raph, Kurt Hennig, DDP and Sting. Jeff Jarrett picking up the win after hitting the stroke, 78. Following the match, Sting is jumped from behind by Vampiro. As Sting gets back to his feet, he's floored by a huge chair shot to the head. Blood starts to spill. Eric Bischoff walks over and raises Vampiro's arm in a sign of victory. This is Vampiro finally joining the New Bloods. He wanted to be not scripted and he didn't really do very well. Anyway, 78. Yeah, 85 for the post pay-per-view. The go home show before the pay-per-view, I should have said. Oh, hello, Scorpion King. That's going back a bit. Okay, that's fine. Let's have a look. See, Jerry Sags has left. He was in rehab the entire time for WCW. Jamie Noble still hitting it pretty good down in development. So I have a North American champion in WCW. That's my Canadian World Championship Wrestling Canada. Very eventful name. Anyway, Jimmy Jacobs picks up the North American Championship, beating Rob Echoes. He is otherwise known as Robbie E. Robert Stone in NXT. Alright, let's have a look, see. Got a few people already asking me to come out developmental. Bryan Danielson, Mike Sanders defeated Shane Helms in the main event. Alright, nothing else relevant. So coming up soon is WCW Spring Stampede. A lot of the card, to be honest, is New Blood versus the Old Guard. Some title matches as well involved. Chuck Palumbo here, the star. So yeah, let's have a quick rundown. We look at that, morale issues. Ray Taylor, Sean. Anyway, let's have a quick rundown of the card. We've got Raph and Booker teaming up to take on Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. I've got Bagwell versus Scotty Steiner. Hennig and Wyndham versus AMW. Hogan versus Monty Brown. Joe versus Dustin Rhodes. That'll probably be for the hardcore title. The Steiner Warriors against a couple of New Blood members for the tag titles. Ric Flair versus Randy Savage versus Nigel McGuinness versus Christopher Daniels for the United States title. And I don't think I've actually added Sean O'Haire into a match, but as he is feuding with DDP, that could be interesting, I guess. And Jeff Jarrett's involved. I'll put some sort of a match between Sean O'Haire, DDP, no doubt. A rematch, maybe. Maybe get one of the Old Guard guys involved. Anyway, up next, Spring Stampede 2002.
Okay, so let's put an end to this chaotic sort of month. I've gone with Monty Brown and Hogan in the main event. Alright, to kick off Spring Stampede 2002, CM Punk wins a Battle Royal. Also had Kidman, Chavo, AJ. Anyway, got 72. Backstage, Booker T and Hogan are in the locker room. They give a speech about the war against the New Blood, saying it's only a matter of time until they come for you guys. Whether you like them or not, you'll be forced to pick a side. The camera pans back to the locker room and we see Randy Savage and Ric Flair carefully listening. It's 83. Also Hugh Morris, Kidman, Mysterio and Punk in there. Right, a Old Guard New Blood match. Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham defeat the AMW. Kurt Hennig with the Hennig Plex, 73. Booker T and Raph teaming quite early in the card, defeat Mike Awesome and Lance Storm from the New Blood, 77. Following the match, Bischoff comes out and tells Booker T his night isn't over just yet. He will later on defend the world title against someone yet to be decided. 100. Dustin Rhodes defeats Samoa Joe with a surprise cradle and he wins the hardcore title, 77. Following the match, Dustin's been attacked by Joe, AMW, Lance Storm gets involved, but Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio and Hugh Morris hit the ring to make the save. It triggers an 8-man brawl. So basically, Hugh Morris, Mysterio and Kidman, they're sort of old school WCW guys if you think about it. They were back in like 97, so they had a good tenure. So getting involved in the New Blood storyline now. Tag title defense, the Steiner Warriors just about creep away with the titles against the New Blood, Carino and Canyon. Carino got disqualified fighting Red Warrior Animal, 83, so very good good rating. Oh, superb match. Nigel McGuinness defeats Ric Flair, Randy Savage and Christopher Daniels when he hits the Tower of London on Daniels. And he is your new United States Champion, 83. Now, it took a while to convince Flair and Savage to allow, I suppose is the word, Daniels, McGuinness to win, but 83 is still good. Final match, Flair and Savage are getting beaten down by New Blood members Mike Awesome, Sean O'Haire, Buff Bagwell, McGuinness and Daniels join the attack. Eric Bischoff makes his way to the ring. He shakes hands with Daniels and says you're in, and then shakes hands and raises the arm of Nigel McGuinness. The New Blood continue to grow in numbers. That's 97. Exceptional match. Scott Steiner defeats his old running buddy Buff Bagwell with the Steiner Recliner, 78. Tag match, Sean O'Haire and Jeff Jarrett defeat DDP and Conan. So Sean O'Haire continues his dominant run. Booker T maintains an air of caution in the ring, and Vampiro's music hits. He makes his way down for a title shot. Booker T defeats Vampiro with a scissors kick. Went 21 minutes. That was his 8th world title defense. Only got 74, potentially because of Vampiro's overness. I put this as the main event. Upset City here. Monty Brown defeats Hulk Hogan with the pounce following a distraction by Eric Bischoff, 75. Following the match, Hogan, another beatdown from the New Blood. It's like the NWO days, to be honest. Hogan's being beat down by Brown, Vampiro, Jarrett and McGuinness. Out from the back comes Flair, Savage and the Stinger. They make the save. Another brawl. So basically this is a way to sort of bring Savage and Flair into the storyline. 93. Only an 80 for the pay-per-view. To be honest, because I'm trying to get so many people over at once, it's sort of hard to sort of keep the quality just as good, if that makes sense. Alright, so 80 overall, not too bad. I've had better, of course, I've had worse, so I'll take that as a win. We're still not the most over company in the world. Before I go through the news, I'll sort of give you an overness update. We're nearly 1 whole year in. Oh, Shawn Michaels is making a comeback. I will unretire him and make him come back. Look at that. Bam Bam Bigelow's back. Davey Boy Smith's back. Ray Taylor's joined me. That's the big boss man. Ken Shamrock. So the New Blood, Old Guard storyline's just going to go off the chart, to be honest. Overness. Let's go overness. At the start of this game, which was 1 year ago, WCW was 56 all over the USA. We're now at 74. Canada was 31, now 54. Mexico 46, now 71. UK was 41, now 56. Japan 71, 51, now 72. Europe was 31, now 42. And for some reason, I'm more over in Australia than everywhere in the world. I was 51, now 77. So I'm 77 in Australia, 72 in Japan, and 74 in America. So that tells me let's book some Aussie shows soon. Let's have a look at the titles. AJ. So the most over title in my company is the United States title. It's 92 prestige. World title is only 80 because it's had a few downer matches. Well, so much news. So much news. Alright, let's go through. And then we'll finish up this chapter. So Shawn Michaels is back. WWE's a lot of contracts being completed here. There we go, Spring Stampede. Got an 80. I'm still happy. Lots of TV deals sorted. It always says that. Always says that about this chap. I like Hayes. Good ratings. Freelance days are over apparently. Very hardcore wrestler. Tiger Mask as well. I think so. They're all like semi-active. Mean Gene Oakland contract expired. Oh, ECWA gone to war with my my WCW Canada. Dave Republic has started Iron. Okay. Disco Machine starts PWU, wherever that is. It's a local. It's in USA. And Iron is small, also in USA. Financial crisis for FWA. I might have a look into that. Could become in UK. Let's have a quick little look. No, they're not in a bad enough position to be financially taken over, so they're fine. They're fine. Anyway, so that is the end of this chapter. We are officially 1 year in now. We've got a old school versus new blood storyline on the go. The next pay-per-view will be Big Bang. And yeah, I've got some ideas I hope you guys like. Thanks always for joining me. I've been Herd85, and as always, take care.